Nebraska, nice. Honestly, it's not for everyone. Just how many shitty slogans has this state come up with to try and bring tourists to our state, and have they even worked? We've got national headlines for them, but in this episode of Midwest Mindset, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of failing and winning, if that's something Nebraska's capable of doing anymore. Was that too harsh? I feel like that was too harsh.
I was trying hard.
I feel like that was too harsh.
Oh, this is what we're doing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dive into the opening.
I was like, wow, we just went full throttle.
Leave that in, editor. That'll be good. That little tail in there. Was that too hard?
No,
all right. Hello and welcome back to Midwest Mindset, the podcast that makes marketing easy to understand and simple to do. I'm your host with the most toast from neither coast, who has an extra toe, which makes me extra good at swimming. And that's pretty much it. All right. Now we have today sitting in here today, instead of the other brother, Ben. We'll get to who this handsome devil is here in a second. We have our returning champion, Austin Anderson. He is bringing plaid back, whether you like it or not. He's like 90s fashion. He's just here and he's not going anywhere.
Dude, I just like I like how Wrangler shirts are long. They don't come untucked.
So you're a Wrangler man then, huh?
Yeah.
In Wrangler shirts and jeans?
No, not jeans.
Okay.
I do have one pair, but those were just well broken in from the Goodwill style.
Those are bro broken in.
Those are bro broke.
Bro broke.
Those are comfy, but I'm not breaking them in my own pair of Wranglers, man. I don't got the time for that.
You have somebody else break them in?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a guy.
Interesting. Okay. You got a guy. All right. Once again, being silenced in the control booth is our producer, Myerton McHugh. We intentionally do not put a microphone in front of him because he says very inappropriate things on a regular basis. It's become an issue with HR, and it's just, I'm not really willing to pay for the fines. So I don't even know if YouTube issues fines or not. But if they, it's just an excuse, really. We don't want to hear Myerton.
Sorry, bro.
Man, that was harsh too. I'm just dishing out the harshness today.
You're gonna scorch earth, Omaha.
Yes, I am. So guess what? Guess who's next then? I guess in the guillotine here is the one and only.
To leave.
Yeah, he's gonna. I'll see you later.
What happened here? Sitting
in for Ben Tompkins, who's busy in the other room working, whatever that is. I don't even know what that means. Is Chadwick Dodd, otherwise known as Chad Dodd, or Chad the Bot Dodd, as we like to call him.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yes, yeah. You know, you keep walking around bragging about losing all this weight and looking good and stuff, and you're going to get that title. This is what happens.
I have nothing to say about this.
Yeah. Chad not only has an awesome name, Chadwick, which I think you should fully embrace. I'm embracing Matthew. I'm embracing Matthew for a change.
That's my middle name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now the connection makes sense.
Yeah.
It all comes. Yes.
Yeah.
So Chadwick is the founder and owner of Klarink. I think is how you say that. Klarink.
Klar.
Oh, Klar Inc. Yes, Klar. No, Klar Inc. with a K. We partner with Chad for all of our website builds at Two Brothers Creative Design. He's a marketing guru, branding expert, and he's got his hands in like 20 different companies now. He's just
23.
What is it? What do they call that? A serial killer?
Entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur. Yes, that's what it is. My bad. See, I'm getting it all mixed. See, the thing is, a little inside baseball behind the scenes. So, like, I am stopping vaping, and so I've made the switch to no nicotine, and so now I'm on like the Nicorette, which I guess still has nicotine in it, but I don't know how this works.
So this is what we get is the hyper.
You're gonna get basically bipolar Matt for a while. All right, worse than normal because I am bipolar. So you're gonna get like. It's like an accelerant added to this equation.
In and out of those nicotine withdrawals.
It's more like a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
No, you shut up.
I just cut back to you just chewing on a bunch of gum.
But it's all for good things. So I, don't die sooner, right?
Yeah.
Lord.
So welcome to the show, Chad.
Thanks.
It's good to have you here.
Thanks for having.
We're talking about branding and we're talking about slogans and marketing today with Nebraska tourism. The brutally honest and, I don't know, some would say brilliantly genius. I don't know if I agree with that at all because I don't. But you are a guy, you've taken a lot of clients through this journey, through this path. And let's start, because they've had Nebraska Nice. We're nice. Which, by the way, our parody of that commercial still shows up number one and gets more views than the actual ad. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We did a parody of it. And I think people, because we pulled like very similar photos and clips, it looks like the real thing. And I think people probably think that's the actual tourism commercial when they
that's fantastic.
Look at it, which is awesome.
Let's go ahead and show that video.
Yes, let's play it. Cue it up. Well, you didn't have it ready? See, this is why Meyerton doesn't get a microphone. He didn't have it fucking ready, you know?
I did that for me because I'm going to edit that in.
Yeah, no, we'll put that in there. Yeah, that's a note for Austin, who's also editing the episode.
I'm just giving myself cues.
Yeah, punch in a funnier joke there for me.
Cut this out.
Accentuate my thighs.
Yeah.
So they have had what? Nebraska. Nebraska nice was one.
Yeah.
They had what was it? And then the recent one was honestly, it's not for everyone. That's the one that made big national headlines.
The Colorado agency,
like $50,000 to do or something crazy.
Outrageous. They didn't even pick anyone from here.
Yeah,
and Colorado's like, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're gonna say that.
So
I mean,
their football.
I wish I could have been in the meeting because I want to hear all the other ideas that they tossed out. Like, Nebraska, fuck it. Like, here's an interesting fact for you though, and then Chad, I want to hear your thoughts on like where they went wrong because this is your like wheelhouse, right? More people drive through the state of Nebraska going to play, like touring, than any other state, and yet we can't get people to take a right or a left turn and stay. I mean, we've got Stonehenge or Carhenge. Carhenge.
We don't have Stonehenge.
We don't have Stonehenge. False Everton. Maybe that's our problem. We should just start advertising things that aren't here, like the Mona Lisa.
Warren Buffett's got the money. Bring us the Stonehenge.
But we've got Carhenge, which is just like ghetto Stonehenge. Which I don't even know why we want to even like have that. We've got the Chimney Rock State Capitol, Pete Ricketts, and many other things that resemble a penis. So we've got things to come see here in the state, is what I'm saying. But we can't seem to get people here. And it made national headlines, but from what I saw online, like it didn't really increase tourism. It didn't actually get the job done. So I don't know if people were laughing with us or at us in that situation.
I don't know. I don't think that, how are you going to convince people to vacation here? They get one vacation, they got to spend a bunch of money. Like why, they want to go somewhere that's like exotic.
It's like
Nebraska. They're not going to post Instagram photos, selfie.
We're the dollar store of vacations. It's like, we're cheap. We're cheap. But
nice.
Chad, let's start like, where should somebody start with an actual slogan to actually accomplish an end goal, whether it's a state or a business?
It's like, really, where do you want to start?
Yeah, where do we start? Because I feel like I don't know where they started. I don't know how they got to this.
I think it comes down to who you really are. Whether like when looking at the state or whether we're looking at a company, like really who you are and embrace who you are. I don't think Nebraska embraced who they are. And with the nice slogan is like the way I took it from being a coast boy is Nebraska nice. Or like nice. Like it's just like
we needed the O in there, like
N-O-I-C. It's just like
nice.
Like, is it a nice place? Is it a nice place to drive through? Like there's nothing there to it. And if it's not for everybody, that same slogan, well, then who is it for? Like they're not defining who we are as a state. And I think that's where they kind of screwed up.
Almost too simplistic.
Yeah.
Well, and there wasn't a lot of meaning or substance behind it. Like you said, what does that mean? Like the people are nice? Because I know a lot of people here, they're not nice.
Is the driving nice?
Yeah.
No.
Is the traffic nice? No. But you're right. I think like that's a mistake a lot of businesses make. Steering this back to like what a small business can do with something like this is like you don't know who you really are or who you're really speaking to. And I don't know that they went through that process. I think this is a lesson.
Who are they attracting?
Yeah.
Like, are they attracting people from Kansas, Iowa? I mean, if it's nice and it's attracting people from Iowa, then of course, like we're better.
We're better than Kansas.
Yeah, we are better.
But like,
Kansas.
who are they? You're not going to get somebody from Florida. You're not going to get somebody from Boston. You're not going to get somebody from California. So who are you really attracting into here? Is like, are you trying to build your own tourism inside of the state?
And like building out a persona, like you can build out a persona for literally anything, and you should. It's a great exercise. I mean, whether it's like, hey, we're going to attend this conference, we're going to build out a persona for the people attending this conference. We're going to build out a persona for this specific sale or this campaign or for your business overall, right? I mean, I think that's a common misstep is we don't know who we're actually trying to attract or who are we targeting, who are we trying to reach, and then we don't lean into who we are. And this is a marketing mistake. I would say it's like a marketing 101 mistake where we try and get too cute for the room. We're too cool for the room. Where it's like, it's not for everyone. Like, that's a funny joke. It's going to get national headlines, but is it going to move the needle? Is it going to people to laugh and then say, you know what, but it is for me? No, I don't think, the statistics don't show that it did.
Why would anyone, not for me, like why would anybody go, ooh? I'm going to go check that out.
Yes.
I don't see
something nobody else likes. Maybe I will like it. Right?
Or maybe they were trying to get the people that are like want to be different than everyone else.
But who are they? Like, are they going on vacations?
I mean, weirdos, like those are like school shooters.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to theaters in Colorado and doing horrible things. Or I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I don't see where's the connection. You got to keep up with it, Chad. The podcast has gotten weird since you last were on.
Wow, okay. Like, here we go.
It's new format. It's a whole new but Chad, like, walk us through the process though. So like, you're trying to come up like a slogan. Like, do you even need a slogan? I mean, let's start there.
No.
Yeah.
Like, no. I think we're looking at like marketing campaigns or advertising campaigns or brand statements or whatever it is. Like, you're trying to figure out like how you're going to communicate to somebody. And a lot of times it's just say what you mean, and you don't have to overcomplicate it, you know? And so that's where I think people try to be cute and clever, and, you know, it falls flat. If you go too cute or too clever, you're going to alienate people. It's going to be confusing to people. And two, you could offend some people as well. Like, I mean, there's other campaigns where it's like, okay, that's kind of offensive, and it wasn't meant to be, but it was just a simple, like, you're trying to be too clever with something, and in that you've lost the audience.
Yeah.
And so just say it like it is, you know? And if it takes you just a little bit to say something, you know, and just say like Nebraska nice, like that's too small. Like, what is nice? You're not clarifying it. You're not simplifying it for somebody. You simplified it too much, and in the simplification, you confused it. So simplicity isn't like in length, it's in clarity of what you're saying. Like, be precise in what you're saying.
And also understand, like, what do the words actually mean? Because nice, let's be honest. Like, I mean, if you were to describe,
nice.
like, okay, this is not like PC, but this is the real life. All right. So is this real life? Yes. You have a group of girls or guys, and they have that friend, and they're trying to hook their friend up, and you're like, oh, you're single
so
now.
nice.
And like, oh, you need to get with Chad. He's so nice. I'm sorry, Chad. That I didn't.
It's a stereo.
I was thinking of a different Chad.
That really cut deep.
No,
I mean,
or Brenda. Oh, she's so nice, and it doesn't mean they don't. It's like
It's a way of getting out.
Yeah,
of like hooking up with that person.
Yeah.
It's like a stereotypical thing from decades and decades of like, no one wanted to be voted like the nicest in their class.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know, I've even seen that in TV shows and sitcoms. In Goldberg's, there's a whole episode about it. He gets voted like the nicest, and he's like, no one wants to be nice. No one is nice, you know? It's like, what is that?
Well, yeah, and like, because you never want to be the nice friend, because then you're in the friend zone. And trust me, I've spent my life in the friend zone. That's where I've resided. I have built my camp there, and it's like the nice. It's like it translates to like. I don't know, like all the things we say we want, but we don't actually want. That's what it translates to. Like, oh, he's nice. Oh, he listens. He's friendly. He's supportive. He's loving. He's caring. Are you going to date him? No. Nope. I'm going to go date the guy who's a piece of shit who, you know, lives with his parents. He's 35 and he's got, what did we call it in that previous episode? The Al Capone syphilis syndrome.
Oh, yeah. He's got the syphilis syndrome.
You missed that one. The Al Capone syphilis syndrome. But yeah, go back and watch it. Link is in the show notes. It'll make more sense.
Nice is safe. Like,
it is safe.
When you want a vacation, do you want safe?
Or adventure.
Like, you want adventure. You want something that's out of your norm. Your normal life is safe. Right? You wake up, you go to work, you go home, you make dinner, you maybe go to the movies. It's all consistency. It's just safe. And then when you go on vacation, you want to go clubbing, you want to go to the beach, you want to do, you know, the adventurous things, you want to go mountain climbing, like whatever it may be. And Nebraska's nice is just we're safe.
It's like an average. It's like me. It's bland.
Equates to boring.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And I feel like that one was a swing and a miss. And then honestly, it's not for everyone. I think the big miss there is it's like they're trying to be too cool for the room, trying to be too clever. And like, I think, and Chad, tell me what you think about this, because marketing, I think this is one of the biggest and easiest mistakes to make, is where we try and get too creative and we only focus on creative and we don't focus on the formula. And I've always believed it's like formula first. There is a rhyme and a reason to what works, why it works, psychology. You're not reinventing the wheel in a lot of things just formatically. And then you incorporate your creative into that. And I think we sometimes think, oh, I'm just going to come up with a great catchphrase or a goofy lizard mascot. And, it's going to be a hand puppet. It's going to be hilarious. But, well, is it actually fitting into the formula of resonating with your ideal customer, and is it reflective of you? Like, is it just, there's so many different things you can just skip over, gloss over, and yeah, you've got something that's funny and entertaining, but like, is it gonna, unless it's a Super Bowl ad where you got hundreds of millions of people watching, is it really going to connect or resonate deeply with anybody?
Well, even when you watch a Super Bowl ad, you see so many ads that try to be funny and they fall flat, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there's only a few that really do a great job at it, over time, but they've perfected it over the years of falling flat on their face with it. But when you're looking at coming up with a campaign or something that is quote unquote clever, is be true to who you are as an organization, and then present that to the people. You don't want to sit there and like I'm kind of just, I am safe, right? Like I am like that guy who I like simplicity. I don't, my place is clean, OCD, like that's who I am. And so when somebody approaches us as an agency, they're looking for, like things to be in order. They're looking for structure. They're looking for clarity and simplicity. And that's what we're attracting, because that's who we are. I'm not trying to be another agency that's, flamboyant with things and go over the top. I'm being true to who I am, and those people are then coming to me. And so I think that's the key, is just be you. And we're so quick to wanting to get like a lot of like followers. We're so quick to want to have, big numbers, but we're not thinking like the long game of it, and how are we really building an actual following of people who want to be part of us. And so you get skewed numbers over the time too, right? Like if you're not being you and you like just following a trend, you'll get a huge number and then it will drop off and you're not sure like who your followers are anymore. And then leadership is like, what the hell's going on here? This isn't right. And then the next thing is like, we have to now chase the next campaign or the next trend. And so you're always a trend chaser, not a trend setter. Yeah. And you look at big organizations, they're setting the trend. They're not following the trend.
And it's easy to make pivots based on false information. When I say false, I mean like information that that isn't accurate. You don't have a big enough sample pool. And this is a mistake. I mean, I've made this mistake in the past. I think probably most, if not all, business owners when they start off make the mistake of I just need a logo. I'm gonna get somebody from what's the
Fiverr?
Fiverr? Yeah.
99 Design.
I want to get somebody from Fiverr to do it for $5 and throw it up there. It doesn't matter. And then you don't really know the resounding impact things like that have on the long-term play for, in this case, the state of Nebraska, because now you've made the state of Nebraska the butt of the joke. And how long is that going to last? Can that even be reversed? So then when you put out your next thing, where you try and make your next slogan, your next pivot, your next, present yourself to the country for travel and tourism, they're going to think, oh yeah, they're the joke.
So, but why did we get away from the Arbor Day thing?
I don't know. What was the Arbor Day?
Like we're home of Arbor Day.
Yeah.
So why did we get away from that was on all the signs coming in when I first moved here. That was the big thing. So
we would probably have more people because people really care about trees now.
Yeah. That was my pitch. I sent that into the state Secretary of State. Say, here's my slogan: trees. Trees. And it's simple. It's simple. It's one word, just like nice.
No, and people be like, man, we got to check out. I love trees.
But that's the thing. Like, that's embracing us, because when I tell people about coming here, we don't have mountains, we don't have oceans. It is beautiful here, though. Like in the summertime, in the fall, I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the country.
The whole state too.
The whole is covered in trees. You have trees everywhere. And
Shadrin,
it's that Ogallala aquifer fueling those trees.
Long pine, Bassett, great territory.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
I've been everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, well, he wears plaid, Chad.
No, that's true.
Oh, wow. Plaid Chad. I didn't even.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. We just got a new
nickname. Well,
Plaid Chad, the Bod Dodd.
We're moving on from that quick.
Okay. Wow. That's going to stick.
Nebraska has a lot of different landscapes in one state where you don't get that. Where I'm from in Massachusetts, it's mountains, it's trees, it's lakes and rivers but it's the same landscape. When you come here, you have the plains, then you go further out west, you have go into this unique mountain forms, shapes. You go to Valentine, Nebraska, that's a different look. And so it's a unique thing. So why aren't we playing on, you get all the states in one?
Or just embrace Husker football. There's so many things that are the identity of the state that we try and steer away from. You don't have to say, obviously you can't do Husker football because they would trademark and bill the state, millions of dollars for that. But embracing the color red, it's a red state. It's a conservative state for the most part. It's a Cornhusker state. I mean, our blood is red. I mean, there's a lot of red going on in the state. Yes, exactly. So, So to button up this conversation about branding, coming up with a slogan, if we had to break this down in like 3 simple steps, and you can correct me if I'm wrong and toss in your thoughts here, guys, but know who you are, what is your identity, and embrace it. Even as weird and awkward and scary as that is, embrace it. Know who it is you're speaking to, who is your ideal customer. Build out a persona, know exactly who you're speaking to so you can actually connect with and resonate deeply with them. What else would you throw in?
I would throw in the why. Why would somebody want to be here? So you have the who I am, why am I doing this, and who am I talking to? I think that's a key thing. Because if you don't have the why,
yeah. If you don't have the why, you don't have the what. If you don't have the what, you don't have the how. If you don't have the how, you don't have the where. If you don't have the where, you don't have the why. And that brings us back to today's
Who's on first
for the episode? The letter Y. All right, Chad Dodd, thank you so much for popping on the show. If you need help with your branding, if you need help with your marketing, if you need help with your graphic design, your website builds, we're just going to refer you to Chad because that's who we go to because he's actually the secret behind everything we do know. But we do partner with him because he's a phenomenal KlarInc.com. Check out his brand new website.
Oh my gosh.
Let's give a big round of applause to the brand new website. This guy's been just working on this thing for years. And it turned out phenomenal. Check it out, KlarInc.com. The link is in the show notes. You're just one finger away. Finger that thing in the notes. God, I really need to work on how I'm. I need to contract that company out of Denver to come up with a new outro. So, okay. You can use your finger to push on the thing in the show notes. It takes you to his website. You don't have to use your finger. You can really use any body part you want. This is really spiraling.
Wow, unless it's got a deep callus. I don't think.
Or if it's a crevice, it probably wouldn't work. It'd be as effective.
Those are the two things you want to avoid.
That is how you sell your services there, Chad. But all joking aside, check it out. Link is in the show notes. Thecontentbox.com. That link is in the show notes as well for everyone here, except for Myerden, who, once again, he didn't chime in with a single funny, anecdote, thought, question. And yes, he doesn't have a microphone, but still, it's no excuse.
You could have used sign language.
He could have yelled. He could have used sign language. Yes. So Myerden is still in the bullpen, and we're going to keep him there until he's just picking on Myerden. See, the lack of the nicotine gum is wearing off. It's wearing off.
Got pros?
What's he say? Dos Equis? Yes, I'm in. I think that's what it said. I don't know. My LASIK's starting to wear off. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on this episode of Midwest Mindset. We'll see you next time.